Here we go, to quote your favourite Italian journalist. Welcome to the final race of the 2019 DTM Offline Championship season. It all comes down to this, a two-way fight for the title between Daniel Fraser and Victor Ibobo. Now, neither driver got pole position in qualifying yesterday, so it purely goes down to the race now. It is George, the OC commentator, and alongside me once again is Ra. So, welcome, Ra.
Yep. Hello, everybody.
So
Welcome
now,
to the home of the Fabrizio Romagna.
yeah, indeed it is so. Right. So before, of course, we get into the race, we will check out the championship criteria for Monza, and it is pretty simple. So let me just get it up. Hang on a second. It is right. Right, here it is. Obviously on your screen right now. So fairly simple. So obviously, if Ibobo wins for Fraser, it's for Fraser. If Ibobo wins, he needs to finish fourth to win the title. If Ibobo finishes second, he needs to finish seventh to win the title. And if Ibobo finishes lower lower than second, finishes third, he'll win the title. For Ibobo, he really needs to win. And if he wins, he needs Fraser to finish fifth. And if he finishes second, he needs Fraser to finish eighth, or get no points at all. So that is the criteria. So now we will at last get into the final race of the season at Monza. So the grid was as follows for qualifying. It was Barty's class taking his first pole position of the season in his last race, with Biffy Farquharson alongside him. In second, row 2 is Julius Anderson, followed by Michael Mocho. That's row 2. Row 3 of the grid is Florian Volker and Adam Wolf. Row 4, Victor Ibobo, in a good position at this moment in time. In 7th, David Greenwood in 8th alongside him. Row 5 of the grid are the two Wills, Will Parrish, Will Nella, and I'll let Rahul take you through the rest of the grid.
Yeah. In 11th, we have Hong Min Nguyen. In 12th place, we have the championship leader, Daniel Fraser. In 12th. And in 13th is Christoph Beranek. 14th, we have Johan Pettersson. 15th, we have Oliver Glazebrook. 16th, we have Alessandro Tomaselli. 17th, we have Robert Dionescu. 18th, we have Hayo Sahin. 19th, we have Ajay Prazan. 20th, we have Roman Quag. And in the last row of the grid, we have Max Nordberg in 21st and Roberto Gamba in 22nd.
Right, so that is the grid for the final race of the season, and now we would check out the weather before the race. 50 laps around Monza, and it will be dry all the way through. I was kind of hoping in a way it would be a wet dry race or a dry wet race to spice things up a little bit more, but still, this could be very interesting indeed. Get your bets on in the chat as to who's going to win. Will it be Fraser or will it be Ibobo? As posted in the Discord chat, of course, Ibobo, this is his fourth attempt at trying to get the title. Can he finally do it this time? It's going to be a tough ask, but you never know what could happen. So, let's see. Who's it going to be? Laser wins it all. Yep. No rain, as I said, so right. 50 laps, of course, so just a few laps short of the race distance for the for Formula 1. So here we go. We're now on the grid. Barty's Plus on pole position. It's a long run down to the first chicane, of course. So here we go. I'm going to be saying that a lot this race.
The first laps will always be fun.
It'll always be fun, as the 5 lights are now coming on. And we are underway here at Monza for the final race of the season, and it looks like Rifki Farquharson has actually got a better start than Kloss. Is already in front before we head to the first chicane. And yeah, Rifki Farquharson gets a great launch off the line and takes the lead heading into the first chicane. Or does he? No, he doesn't. Oh my word! And already there's chaos. Would you believe
already chaos.
it?
Anderson.
And there's already chaos. I think there's a wheel missing. Someone I think is out.
Volker is out.
Is out. His miserable season
Adam
goes
Wolf,
on.
I think he's out of the race as well.
So
Michael Macho has
look at that.
Anderson.
Victor Ibobo has been an absolute dream start. He's already going to be up to third. What an unbelievable start for Ibobo. It couldn't have really gone any better. Already, he's up into third place. So
Yeah.
got away with what happened on the first lap, so he still remains in the lead. Anderson is second. Kloss is second. And now Ibobo is in third. So let's have a look at that start once again. So,
Yeah.
looking at the start now from the point of view of Ricky Farquharson. So, as I said, he got a good launch off the line. And yeah, despite the bump, actually managed to get away with it. And I think it was Mocho that went into the back of him, wasn't it?
Yeah. Anderson also got a good launch, but he wasn't able to find a way to overtake Bottas Cross. Mocho, using the slipstream of Farquharson, just couldn't do well on the braking and hit Rifty Farquharson. Julius Anderson actually got hit by Adam Wolf, who actually hit the back of Bottas Cross.
Unfortunately, as you Kloss, no, I don't
Was it
think
Mocho?
he did.
Just about missed it. Yeah, he's
just missed,
hit
so Kloss got away with that there.
Yeah, he's hit Mocho, or just Mocho just spinning because he was hit.
And then unfortunately, Volker was just had nowhere to go and caught the end of his car there, and that was the end of his race, unfortunately.
And Adam Wolf's as well. Absolutely no space for Volker, and no way out for Wolf.
So yeah, obviously Henderson cutting across, but he will pit anyway. And
indeed.
Already is at the first chicane, already chaos, and again for Victor Bobo, it's a dream start already up into third by the end of the first lap. Let's see the rest of the order. So Fraser's actually up to ninth. He'll gain a couple of minutes, so he'll be up in the points. So at the moment, Fraser's actually made a decent start as well. As we look at Mocho, we'll also go into the pits. Number of driver movements in the order. But at the moment, obviously, Falcon got a big lead as Parrish goes into P4, overtakes David Greenwood. As
Fraser!
And Fraser.
That was close. But he got ahead of Anderson just about.
So now dropping to the back. And now Greenwood actually going back past Will Parrish, or at least looks like he's trying to, coming around Parabolica onto the front straight. And it's still, I think, just about side by side. No, I think Parrish is now in front, but Greenwood's going to have the slipstream and is going to go for the move shortly into the first chicane. He's going to go for it. He's on the inside. Parrish not giving him any room at all, so he has to back out of that one. Meanwhile, side Beranek.
Ionesco's hit the back of Quag in the background.
Yeah, fortunately, no damage done, and Prasan is going to go around, the outside/inside now of Beranek. Gets a good run out the corner there.
Yeah, Ionesco outbraked himself, went into the back of Quag.
And contact. And Greenwood is around. Parrish is on the circuit. He remains in fourth. That could allow actually Nella to go through, and he's up in fourth. So Nella's also made a good start.
For Fraser, he's up into eighth now.
So he's getting a solitary point, which is enough for him at the moment. And
Greenwood, he's out.
I think is he out? I didnn't see the wheel.
I think he is. I couldn't see, but anyway, I think he's out of the race.
The two Will Nella and Parrish battling it again.
And now Beranek. President's gone off.
Oh, no, right in front of Ionescu.
And Ionescu has damage.
Wow.
President is out.
Gets damaged. Prasan and gets hit by another car there. I think that was Nordberg, yeah, but Prasan is out.
Does Nordberg have damage by any chance?
Ionescu, that just sums up his season right there.
Yep, he has damage. Yep.
Big battle here for P5. Nella trying to hold on. It's almost 3-1 into the chicane.
But this may end in tears.
And Fraser's through. There's damage as well, and Fraser's managed to get through that pretty well, and he's going to move up another couple of positions.
He is out of this race.
So
the missing wheel.
Min has got damage, so he's going to drop down the order.
Yep, Fraser's now up to 6th because of this. Could soon move up to 5th.
So all movements up in the top 10 apart from obviously Kloss. Ionescu in the pits. Obviously Nordberg in there as well. And
everything happening at once at this moment of time. Let's see what happened. see what happened to Greenwood first of all. Greenwood just went into the back of Paris. Paris defended so aggressively. Greenwood spun round and he went into the wall.
Oh,
And
there
yes,
was, you can
that
just
is
see the wheel. Yeah,
confirmation.
so
He is
Greenwood
out of
was
the
out.
race. And yeah, Prazan defended.
Tried to defend from Baranek and he lost
Yeah.
it. And then unfortunately,
Just
right
rejoined.
on Ionescu, and then boom.
Just no way Ionescu could escape that one. Not his fault at all.
And Norberg
Yeah,
did get damage. Wasn't sure if he had, but he did get damage. Well, he was in the pits, but didn't like it at first. And then, of course, we go to what happened. Well, we're looking actually on board with Fraser. We can see what happened from his point of view, obviously, with the chaos that happened in front of him at the first chicane. It was almost 3 wide. You can see it was never going to work. And then Min, well, no, he was.
It was Nguyen.
Yeah, it was on the inside. And Fraser
Fraser did actually hit the wheel, and
well, that knocks Min. But I think he had damage anyway.
yeah,
But Fraser managed to get through, and so did Glazebrook. And then Purterson got past Glazebrook as well, up to 7th. So a number of movements there. So meanwhile, Rivki Park was extending his lead out front to 2.7 seconds ahead of Bartis Gloss. Iboba about 5 seconds behind. He's just coming around the chicane now. And so now we can take a bit of a breath. As Sahin actually goes past Glazebrook now for 8th. And Glazebrook makes a little mistake, but keeps it on the road. But yeah, that was a very interesting start. As chaotic as you could imagine, as Rivki Park was saying, setting the fastest lap of the race. They're all equally spread out as Roberto Gamma goes past Min, who of course has got damage. So he will go into the pits now. Glazebrook, who was briefly in the points, unfortunately dropped now out of it. But now it looks like there's plenty of space at this moment in time. Still, I think there's a marshal aiming yellow flag there, which of course is a glitch. That is obviously not right, because there is no damage at the first. There is no crashes at the first corner. But so far, we're just 4 laps in. We've already got 5 cars out of the race. So that's about as good as you'd expect, really, at Monza. All this chaos to start happening.
yeah, indeed.
But I said again, Ibobo just needs more than this, because Fraser is winning the title as things stand. He needs to win. But at the moment in time, it doesn't look like it. It's actually Mocho sets the fastest lap on the race on the fresh tyres. Bobo got to Parish behind about 5.
Anderson on the move. There's going to be contact.
Min just as he's come out of the pits there. And Min still rejoins in front of him. Anderson now might still go past him on the inside there. And it's going to be side by side between Anderson and Min. Anderson's got the right line into the second chicane, the second Variante. And he makes it through past Min into 14th. And Min actually might be under pressure from Ionescu behind.
Yep, Ionescu staying behind him for now as Thomas Hayes sets the fastest lap.
He's obviously on slightly fresher tyres than the rest. Fuel-wise, I mean, even though it looks like they have a lot of fuel now, I think it will be probably a one-stop. It usually is a one-stop, but it could easily be a 2. So as we look at Ionescu behind in Nguyen, coming through Ascari, heading towards Parabolica. And
not the best spot to overtake, because you will get overtaken back.
So he's still on the inside. Ionescu moves up into 15th temporarily, possibly. Goes past Minimin's now right behind Ionescu, so he's obviously, as Rumble said, going to take the position straight away as Mocho sets another fastest lap. So Min's just about alongside Ionescu, heading towards the first chicane. And this will be the move back on the inside, will it? And the answer is maybe, yes, no. No, it will be.
Yes.
Lock up there from Ionescu. That's allowing him
out there
to have a good run at him. And he's nearly alongside Ionescu. Not quite, I think, although he's trying. And he might make a late move into the second chicane. I think he's on the inside now. He's going to go for it, and he's through. Up into P16. Ionescu down to 17th and last. Again, at the moment, the field is fairly spread out. Although Beranek trying to get close 2 remain Quag in front of him. So we're only 6 laps in so far in this race. And yeah, Jamie, how many trucks was involved? If you're watching the truck race, how many were involved? Over 10?
10 to 12, I seem. But anyway.
Probably about 10 to 12. Alright, definitely, I think, getting a little bit closer to Quag. And so we'll see if he can get close on down the back straight. If not, he could do it after that towards the Parabolica. So they're coming through. I think he's not going to be close enough to make a move here. We'll have to wait until the next straight. Bobo at the moment on his own in third position. Doesn't look like he's gaining. I think he's actually dropped a bit off of Kloss. I think it was over 3 seconds now. So it doesn't look like he's gaining much ground at this moment in time. But Kloss is not, again, getting much on Farkazane in front of him. Parrish behind, gap-wise. Same again, yeah, Kloss gained about 4/10 on that lap. Farkazane fuel-wise, they get a little bit more than Ibobo, so yeah, a little bit more. Parrish has got actually the least out of the top 3. Fraser's not got a lot either. Looking through the rest, Gamma's got a fair amount. Mocho, quite quick at the moment. So Parrish could be maybe one of the ones doing the 2-stop. Meanwhile, Quag seems to be closing up to the back of Oliver Glazebrook. This is for P9, so just outside of the points. So he's now quite close behind now, heading through the 2 Lesmos. This is a good opportunity for Quag to make a move coming into the Ascari chicane. He's got to be careful because Berenek is also close behind as well. Now as we come on the straights, here we go. And Quag is right behind Glazebrook, and he's going to make a move to the inside. And this will be P9 for Quag if he can get it done. And he does. So he's now up to P9. Glazebrook is a little out of shape there again on the curb. So he drops down to P10. So Glazebrook doesn't look like he's got any pace at this moment in time. Berenek, of course, is right behind at this moment in time. As we look through the order once again. And here's Berenek now. Glazebrook. No?
Yep. Well, it's going to be a three-way battle between Quag, Glazebrook, and Berenek. Let's see what happens.
It's gonna only go badly wrong. As we've seen before, the Berenek backs off. And again, can't do much about it. So Glazebrook can get back past Quag. It's getting a little bit close.
He's hit him, tapped him, and both of them are through.
Yeah, so Glazebrook gets back and Quag loses out in that one. So
Nordberg's got ahead of Nguyen. It's for 15th.
Boss in second. And of course, if Ricky Farkazane wants to win this race, it would be his second victory of the season. So yeah, again, it would have been nice to have some rain. Would have spiced things up a bit, but again, we're only 8 laps in. Anything can still happen over the next 40 laps, 40+ laps. So it's inevitable. He's about to comes across the line to complete the lap. We're now on lap 9 of this race. Gap again up to just about 3 seconds. It's extending his lead over Barty's Cross ever so slightly. So a gap between the front 3. Bobo in third. Fraser at the moment doing what he needs to do to win the title. And as Joe put in the chat before, at the moment Fraser would be on 49 points and Ibobo would be on 46. Tomaselli is not that far away, I suppose, from I think Parrish in 4th, so maybe we could see a battle between them soon. Fraser again a couple seconds off. You're very spread out this moment, but wait till we come to the pit stops. That's when things will spice up with the what's always interesting pit exit, which always throws up quite a few curveballs, as we all know, with the way the cars come out of the pits.
Yeah. cross gained a little bit in the middle sector. It's not much. As now Brennick is on the move and get past Oliver Glazebrook. It's for 9th place and he should go through. Just like that. It's up to 9th.
So, Flo, is Parrish not on a 2-stop then? Because his fuel's, I think, the least amount out of everyone that I saw. Is he not on a 2? He'd be going quite a lot on the...
I think that everyone is on a 1-stopper.
Alright.
I guess that someone retired already who was the one guy on the 2-stop.
Could have been you, to be fair.
Maybe. But I'm very unlucky this season, so yeah, let's see what comes next year.
Yeah, alright. Good information there. Meanwhile, Tomaselli now is on the back of Will Parrish for P4. There's a battle coming up. Quag is now going to obviously attempt to get back past Glazebrook. Max lost him a lot of time, of course, because he did try and get past him, then Berenick got past him, and then Berenick got past Glazebrook. So now he'll attempt to get past Glazebrook cleanly this time and hope that Glazebrook doesn't try and get him back. So you look now at Quag all over the back of Glazebrook, onto the back straight, heading towards the Ascari chicane. Quag moves out to the left. It should be an easy move, and it is. So now makes it. Oh, and Tomaselli actually goes past Parrish, but Parrish will probably get him back coming into the first chicane. He'll be in the slipstream, so as we'll see many times before, he'll go straight back past him. Give a good chance for Fraser behind to close up as well. And so here we go. And will Tomaselli try it back? No, I think he might have it done actually. Unless Tomaselli can get it back into the next chicane if he's still in the slipstream, which he will be actually, I think. So he could still have a go. And he is in the slipstream now. So now Tomaselli going to try and go back past Parrish or not, because Parrish defends again very aggressively. And that could be that. So I think Parrish now has the move done. So, or keeps it in place, I should say, from Tomaselli. So Tomaselli will have to try it again. And if these two keep battling, that could allow Fraser behind to close up. He has gained quite a bit because they've been attacking each other. So he won't be close enough there. So if he gets a good run at Parabolica, he could still maybe have a late go at Parrish. Tomaselli could come in the first chicane if he's close enough. I don't think he's quite close enough. He needs to be a touch closer, I think, to make the move. So look at them coming under the straight, and yeah, he's not going to be close enough into the first chicane. Down to half a second gap, which of course is absolutely nothing. So he's now actually a bit quite close. He got a good run through the chicane there, Tomaselli, so he could close through the chicane after and then make the move going into the Ascari chicane if he can time it all right.
It's helping Fraser as well. Catching
Fraser is catching these two. So Tomaselli now coming through. He's now only 4/10 behind, so he's definitely going to probably have a go coming onto the back straight towards Ascari. He's definitely quick through here. If he can get maybe just a little bit closer, he might. And I don't know if he's quite in the slipstream there. It might catch him up towards the end of it, but it might be just a little bit too late. So he's not going to make the move here, but if he gets a good run through Ascari, then have a good chance at making the move towards Parabolicus. Again, look like he's still quite close enough there. It's a touch too far, but it is, as I said, as you said, Rahul, he's trying. It's helping Fraser behind. Peterson is about 4 seconds off at this moment in time. Yeah. Yeah, not close enough onto the straight. Yeah, so. And again, he always gets a good run, actually, Tomaselli, coming through the first chicane, and that seems to be where he's quite strong. Yeah, just needs to get close enough off the straight so he's able to keep up with him. And so if you can get a good run through this chicane and enough through the two Lesmans, it's down to half a second. We need it just to be a little bit more than that. Well, a little bit more than that. A little bit less than that. So he comes through onto the back straight, and again, Bobo is not too far in front, but moment no danger. 2 Bobo in third, but I don't know. Are they gaining on a Bobo? They look to be. I don't know. It looks to be maybe a little bit closer before. I could be imagining things, but Bobo's always been a little bit ahead of these guys.
Yeah, because the gap is 2.8 between Parish and Bobo, so.
Again, the gap out front's about 3.6. So, although Torsay looks to be almost in the slipstream there, needs to be a little bit closer. If he gets a good run with the chicane, he could still get a good run out of it and then follow him through. Just not quite there. Just not enough at this moment in time. Just not happening right now for him. And so he's going to have to wait again, getting through his second chicane. And so again, he always gets close to the chicanes, but just not enough. And coming off it, then he gets good running enough to get away on the straights. So again, Bobo is again falling away from it, but from Kloss in second position, so it doesn't look like he's any threat at the moment. So Baronek is about 2 seconds to Carl. He's about 4 seconds off of Sahin in 8th, so he's a little bit away from him as well. Yeah, it always gets to about 4/10, but that's as close at the moment as it gets.
So he's just going the middle sector, so you could have a go at the start-finish straight if you can.
He needs to get a touch closer through Parabolica, and then could get a run, but just not quite enough at this moment in time for him.
Yeah. Now, Nordberg at the back of Julius Anderson for 14th.
This is the battle towards the back of the field. And so he's surely going to make a move into the Ascari chicane. And so Nordberg on the inside. And there should be a move for 14th. And he does make it. So he's up. So at least we've seen another overtake there. Good move there by Max Nordberg. So again, to say just not quite getting close enough. He's up on this lap at the moment, but it's not happening for him at the moment. So he's going to have to wait until it comes to the pit stops for it to happen. And yeah, so let's see. So Tomaselli again, about half a second. It just always remains about that amount. So I don't see it changing until it gets to the pit stops. And yeah, so I hope everyone's doing okay in the chat at the moment. Obviously, it's not really that much happening at this moment in time. I think it's good. Obviously, reports, of course, about Turkey signing a 10-year agreement on the calendar, which, of course, would be fantastic. I would love to see Istanbul back on the calendar, as would every F1 fan. As actually Daniel Fraser sets the fastest lap of the race.
Ooh, that's going to be interesting.
Okay, now he's closed up a bit actually on the 2 in front. But yeah, that's showing his hand there, Fraser. But yeah, so as a Turkey signing agreement, obviously Qatar on the calendar signing a 10-year deal. I don't know where that's come from. Again, I don't think the track is not suited to cars. I think it's suited to motorbikes, but with the new cars, of course, next year could easily be proved wrong. I hope Imola does replace Paul Ricard, as Mocho now sets the fastest lap. I hope Imola does, because even though Paul Ricard, you could say, is better for overtaking, let's be honest, the track is ugly as anything. with all the stripes and runoff and stuff like that. But actually, finally, Tomaselli, now that I've been talking out of my butt, is actually now making a move on Parrish. Finally, me talking gibberish has worked, as now he's on the inside, Tomaselli, so he'll make it through Parabolica up into fourth. But of course, Parrish will get a run, although he's still actually alongside him, heading towards the first chicane. But this could be crucial. And so Parrish is still alongside Tomaselli. You can see just the edge of his car coming across the straight. As Fraser now
the fastest lap again.
He's edging closer. And Tomaselli, has he got the move done now? And the answer is yes. And now Fraser's right behind Parrish now, thanks to that fastest lap and thanks to them battling. So I wonder if Fraser could actually make a move into the chicane. I think he might just about be in the slipstream. And I think he is actually. So here we go. Fraser going to try on the inside, but Parrish again defends very hard. So not able to do it there. But this is important for Fraser because this will give him more advantage in the championship. But of course, he's got to be careful that he doesn't do anything stupid. And so Fraser's going to try it on the outside there. It's not going to work, obviously. Then swap and make a move to the inside if he's close enough, although he backed off quite a bit there.
You'll let it go for now.
So he's still going to follow him through Ascari chicane. And so he's going to make the move into the Parabolica most likely. Going to edge on the inside, so he'll make a move for fifth position. And so he'll get it done here, but of course Parrish will get the move back, although will he? I think, no, he will. I think he's still just about the slipstream of Fraser, so he'll get him back, but then Fraser will hope to then re-overtake him again, as Parrish just absolutely speeds past Fraser, thanks to the slipstream there. And so Fraser will now
does the switch back, and he gets back ahead.
So that's great news for him in the championships, and Parrish does a little lock up there as well, but for Fraser that's great news, and that's not good news for Victor Bobo. So Fraser now moves up into fifth place. So Bobo has got it all to do, and I think if I'm looking at the criteria, so Bobo getting in third, obviously it wouldn't be enough. But if he was to win a Bobo, then it would be enough. But yeah, Tomaselli, as you said, now he's actually finally got past. Parrish is now gaining. I wonder if Fraser will gain as well.
Thank you.
Joe, is it? So it's 2023. They're racing on a different track in Qatar, not Losail. I hope it's not. God, I hope it's not the street circuit. I'm sick of them, really. I just don't want any more street circuits. I want normal tracks, please.
Yes.
But anyway, bring back Sepang, please. That's what I kindly request, and that would be nice. Anyway, but so we're now 18 laps in. Rivki Park-Hussein still leading at this moment in time. Gap extending. It's now nearly 5 seconds, over 4.5, 4.9 to be exact. So he's extending his lead at the moment. It is a very comfortable lead for him, and that bump at the start actually helping him quite a bit.
Yeah,
So we're going to get set at the moment, looking like he's going to take his second victory of the season. But again, we're not even halfway yet, and anything can happen. And Tomaselli is actually now only less than a second actually off of Bobo for third place. So that battle is going to be happening very, very soon. So let's hope we can get to that, and we might even see a move at the end of the lap. But it doesn't look like a Bobo right now has got the pace. It seems to be Tomaselli who's got the pace, and also Daniel Fraser. So looking at Park-Hussein heading towards Parabolica, about to hit 20 laps for this race. And so Bobo's on the wiki, but we'll see. Anyway, Tomaselli, you can see here he is. You can see Bobo. Bobo is in his sights. Fraser about 2 seconds off. So doesn't like at the moment he'll make any threat. But Tomaselli is one of the drivers that doesn't have a lot of fuel left in his car, so he'll be one of the first drivers, along with I think Parrish, to make a stop. But as we look at Thomas heading towards the first chicane, you can see how much he actually gains on Ibobo here. Look at how much he gained on him there, and I wonder if he's just about to slipstream enough to make a move to try and have a go into the second chicane. I think he might be. Is he a touch too far? Not sure. I think he'll be in the slipstream now, so I don't think he'll quite make a move, but he'll certainly be right behind him. Ibobo actually makes a move to the left, and again, so Tomaselli now is right behind, and this is going to be possibly a change for position, and crucial for the championship. So this is the battle for P3, Tomaselli versus Ibobo, and so Tomaselli unable to make a move there, but coming onto the straight, just needs to bide his time, and he'll make a move on the inside, and he's going to go for it. Side by side between Tomaselli and Ibobo, and Tomaselli is through past Victor Ibobo, and Ibobo is down to fourth, and of course behind Ibobo now is his main championship rival, exactly the person that he would not have wanted to see. So Tomaselli moving up to third, and that strengthens Fraser's grip on the on the title, really. And yes, Rob, I do know it's called the Alboreto, but let's face it, no one is calling it the Alboreto curve. It will be forever known as the Parabolica by all of the F1 community, really. And I think, did I see someone saying the fastest lap there? And it's Tomaselli actually. And a pit
Fraser and Parrish will pit this lap actually.
Okay, so I wonder if Fraser's going to try maybe an undercut, and Parrish, who, well, he's not been very quick, but he's one of the first drivers to pit. So this could be interesting to see what happens. The pit stops are now finally beginning, and of course we'll now find out what it looks like. Well, it looks like it's going to be a one stop, but we'll see. Rob. Well, because I'm biased and because I'm British, even though this track's Italian, Brits are always right about everything. Okay, so yeah. And F1's based in. Well, that's not based in Britain. Anyway, enough of that. The moment Fraser obviously up on his lap, he's set to come to the pits. He's closing up to the back of Ibobo, but of course Ibobo will still be going on. So, looking at Fraser now heading towards the Parabolica. He'll be jolting to the right and then pitting afterwards. So Fraser will just hope to come out and clear and not have to worry about traffic on the exit, of course, with that dodgy pit exit. So Fraser now comes in. And here we go. And Tomaselli sets another fastest lap. So Tomaselli seems very quick at the moment. So Fraser is now in. And yes, and Fraser is now in. So let's see how much fuel they have in. And yep, it will be enough for him to go to the end. So 31, yeah.
7.1.
7.1, obviously. Nordberg actually, Parrish, I think that's 6.3. So we did a quicker stop actually, but Fraser's still in front. But I think crucially, they're coming out in clear air, so that's important for them. So there we go. And
Tomaselli's going to pit
with the British. Yes, Gerg with the British buyer. Yes, Yuri, that's correct indeed. So we're looking at Tomaselli at the moment. He's actually pitching this lap as well, covering off Ibobo and Parrish. Fraser and Parrish, sorry. Again, like we're saying, comfortably out in front on his own. Nearly 5.5 seconds the gap is. So now Tomaselli is going to come in. His first stop as they begin.
Yep, in he goes.
So Tomaselli is now in. And of course, he'll go to the end on the one. See how quick his stop will be. Pits and 6.7. He's going to be well ahead of Fraser. He's just coming out the pits now, so he's going to be well ahead. So, I mean, his pit stop Fraser wasn't exactly very quick, so it didn't really help. But Tomaselli comes up comfortably ahead of Fraser and Parrish. But again, Fraser just doesn't need to do anything stupid. He's just he's doing a good enough job as it is. And Michael Mocho is now in. He's been pretty quick this race. Unfortunately, due to the damage he got earlier on from the start, probably going to be tough for him to get any points out of this race, unless there's any collisions. Oh, hang on, Fraser lost the position to Parrish.
Yeah, he has.
He's made a mistake somewhere. Oh no!
No!
Oh, Fraser's got a problem.
Oh no!
Oh no!
He has a problem.
Are you actually kidding me? Oh my goodness! There is no way.
There is no way. He has an engine failure.
Oh my!
So
it's almost written in the stars, isn't it? Oh my goodness! There is no.
And he's gonna pull over.
Wow! And Victor Bobo.
All he has to do is finish in the top 2, and he's champion.
Yeah, so he needs to finish second. Bobo. At the moment, third place is not enough for him, but he won't get a better opportunity, Bobo, to win the championship than this. This is his golden chance. And oh my word! So I thought it was a mistake.
Yeah.
And wow.
Oh, he got the problem, I think, just before, right? Just before he started lap 23.
My word. Can you believe what happens? But as I said, we've got an engine problem. And yes, Fraser's going to be fuming that. Something out of his control. And yeah, he is now out of this race. But as I said, for Bobo, he needs to do more than he's doing. And yep, the fireman has a chance, as there goes Parrish past Daniel Fraser. Whew. Well, again, it's never over until it's over. But kind of crucially, Daniel Fraser is out of this race, and Victor Bobo has a golden chance to win his first DTM title.
Yeah,
There are a few pit calls, actually. Pettersson is in. Ibobo is still going out. He's going to be probably pitting in the next lap or so. I think there are another couple of pit calls as well. So let's look at Pettersson in the moment in 4th, ahead of Halil Sahin in 5th. And so he's going to come in this lap. So as we look at Pettersson coming through towards the Michele Alboreto Parabolica. And so if Ibobo wins DTM, if Ibobo wins, DTM is getting replaced by another series.
Oh my.
Yeah, was it Formula Ford or Formula BMW, which nearly was instead of BTCC?
Yeah, Formula BMW.
Yeah. So Pettersson is in. We'll go to the end. And now I was going to say, was he going to have to wait for the car behind? 5.6 actually, pretty quick. Stop for him. So he will come out. Quag is in as well, so...
Will it be out of Parrish? That's the question. Parrish is going through now.
Veronic is in as well.
He is. He's at the Parrish.
Is he? Yes, he is. Again, sorry, my screen froze a bit there, so I didn't quite see what happened there at the crucial moment. But now Julius Anderson comes in.
I think we have Ibobo also coming in. I think he must have a pit call.
And brilliant. Ibobo is in the chat. So Ibobo is now watching this. So yes, Ibobo, you have a good chance. All you need to do is finish second, and you've won the title. So yeah. No pressure. No pressure. Max Norberg is in. Obviously Anderson, as we know, is also in as well. Slow start for Anderson, really. Barty Cross has actually now lapped these guys. And now actually Bobo, Speak of the Devil, is coming in. And was it Pettersson got ahead of Parrish, didn't he? So this is actually an important pit stop for Ibobo. Needs to hope that he gets ahead of these guys if he wants any chance of getting that second position. Not had great pace.
Second pit stop.
Yeah, that's a very slow pit stop. Probably one of the slowest actually so far. And I don't know where he is coming pit exit. He's there. He'll be behind Tomaselli, but he'll be quicker than him. So he comes out in 7th. And Pettersson is there, so I think he will come out ahead of Pettersson, which is important. So now let's see if he can go after Tomaselli in front of him, the man that overtook him on circuit. So pit for Halil Sahin. Farkrazane is also in as well. He's pitting this lap. I don't think Kloss was in yet.
He's staying out. His cross.
But yeah, fine would be 0-5. Yeah, yeah, that would be ironic, Jamie, if that was the way that Iboa was to win the title. If, of course.
Obviously, yeah. Kloss is staying out because Farkrazane did. So, yeah.
The Kloss will lead the race. As Farkrazane in his one and only stop. Yeah, Fireman Fraser, my new name. yeah, it works. It works.
Second pit stop for Farkrazane.
8 seconds. Okay, that's pretty slow as well. Sahin is obviously in 2. And Farkrazane comes out back onto track, and Vertigamba is there, but he's still yet to pit. But hold on. Vertigamba, will he try and overtake? Oh, surely not.
No.
Surely not. Oh, no. Oh.
He's good for now.
Just
Yeah.
about gets away with that. Roberto Gamble will now overtake him. But Farkrazane doesn't need to worry because he's the only one there. Glazebrook is in the pits as well.
We have a situation with Sain and Brannick, but I'm not so sure.
So Farkrazane actually now gets ahead of Roberto Gamble there.
Okay, it's good for now for this one. For Sain. Joins in 8th. Yep, Kloss is coming in to the pits.
So he led for a lap. Now he'll come in, and Ricky Farkrazane will, of course, take the lead back. Yep. So Kloss now comes in and will relinquish the lead to Rivki Farkrazane. So Rivki Farkrazane just going around. It's 27 seconds though, actually, so it might be close because Farkrazane did get held up a bit by Roberto Gamble there. So I wonder actually if Kloss might, if they might come out side by side. Because it needed to be a quick stop actually, Kloss. And that was quick, actually 6. So this could be very interesting actually. So Farkrazane is probably just coming around the parabolica now. Oh, he's there now. I think Farkrazane will come out ahead actually.
Yeah.
But still, Kep will be down a little bit. Roberto Gamble at the moment takes second, but of course he's still yet to pit. But Kloss will be second once Roberto Gamble goes into the pits. Another pit call as well for Robert Inescu. Running in 13th place. So we're now, of course, past the halfway point of this race. And we could bring back some news from this year's Italian GP, yeah. But Inescu is going to come in. Bobo at the moment, as I said, is running in 5th position. He'll take he'll take 4th once Roberto Gamble goes in, but as I said, that's not enough for him to win the title. Inescu now in. We'll see if he can maybe get the fastest lap from this race. So Inescu comes in, changes all the tyres. We'll try and get his fade on 6 seconds again. And he'll come back out onto the circuit in 15th place, which I think is last. He comes out, yep, there we go. 16th actually, yeah, there's Anderson, who's just gone by him there. But there we go, Roberto Gamble again in second at this moment in time. I don't know if he doesn't pit this lap, he'll pit next lap. Hongmin Nguyen is going to come in as well on this lap. Roberto Gamble and keeping close to the car in front. Ibobo in 5th, and Peterson behind is actually gaining on him and is down by 3/10 on that lap. So we could see a battle on maybe later on this race between those two. Ibobo needs to do more. It doesn't look like he's got the pace on Tomaselli in front of him right now. So as we look at Roberto Gamble, who's still keeping it up with Rivki Farkrazane, he's doing a good job. He's pitting this lap as well. Nguyen Hongmin is in for his one and only stop of this race. Big call for Roberto Gamble too. He will come in as well. But at the moment, Rivki Farkrazane got a lead. There's Min in the pits. 7.1, and he comes out onto the circuit. Looks like down in P14. I wonder if he'll drop down further than that. That's at P14, and is Anderson going to go by him? Anderson's there, but I think Untitled is still going to be ahead, which he is, having just come out of the pits. And now Roberto Gamba is in the pits. Spartacus Loss will go by and will retake second position. So as now we look at Anderson, who's now going to try and go past Min. 40 plays of Min defends hard there, but unable to do anything about it there. But again, looking at Roberto Gamba now coming in, he'll drop, looks like outside of the points, but he'll be the quickest of the guys ahead of him at the end of the race. So we could see him making up a few positions. So he's now going to be down to, looks like, the 11th position or 12th. Will he drop down any more? Looks like not. Sahin appears to be gaining actually on Parish for 6th place. Bobo actually getting the gap a little bit up actually to Peterson in front of him. But we could see a battle for 6th between Parish and Sahin coming very soon. It looks like. As we look at them coming now onto the the back straight now, I think he's going to be quite close enough to make a move into the Ascari chicane at this moment in time. So Sahin looks to be quite close. I was actually about to ask if he was still there, but you are, so that's good. Sahin now attempting to make a move on Parish, coming in to Parabolica. He's on the inside, and he does, but then Parish almost likely make the move straight back, heading up towards the first chicane. And so he's now right behind Sahin. He's going to take the position straight away. We'll move back up into 6th position, which he does, and yep, that's the move straight back there for Parish. That battle looks like will continue because Sahin is right behind him there, coming off the chicane. We'll get a good run, we'll get in the slipstream, and we'll then of course try into the next chicane. And so he's now going to be on the inside is Sahin, and this is the overtake P6 on the circuit, and Sahin is through, moving up into P6. A good move there.
Yeah, indeed, so far, so good.
Bobo, so we're looking at him 4th. Again, doesn't look like he can get it at this moment in time. There could still be problems for the guys in front. You never know what could happen, but again, Bobo's had a great season. Again, the gap again coming down to Peterson behind. It's now back down to 1.8. The gap Bobo to Tomaselli stayed about 4.4 seconds. 5% of Kloss is about 4.1. Tomaselli 2.3 away. Generally, the gaps getting to about the same as they were before the pit stops. 5%, of course, who had of course, it got held up by Roberto Gamba in the pit stop. Daniel, it's not a 1 point gap, I don't think. And oh wait, no, it is a 1 point gap.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't see. That's my bad. I didn't see Joe's comment there on the live standings, but. But yeah, so yeah, don't worry, Danny. Even if Bobo gets 3rd, that still wouldn't be enough because, crucially, even though he's got more podiums than you, you've got that win, whereas Bobo hasn't. So at the moment, you're in a good position right now, and it doesn't look like Bobo is closing up to Thomas. Well, he's not closing up to Tomaselli. So I think at the moment, it's looking like it's going to be yours. But as we look at Tomaselli, who I don't know if he's closing up to the back of Kloss. Kloss is just down the straight in front of him, so maybe we'll see the sector times, and we'll see if he is closing the gap to him or not. And the gap, again, look at the gap behind to Bobo, but again about 2.6. So thing about
not much.
Yeah, not much difference.
Both Farkazane still leading this race. The gap to Kloss. Yep, 4.3.
Going up slightly. I'll say down a little bit, I think it was. And Peterson is gaining 2 Ibobo, in 4th position at this moment in time. Gap down to about 1.5 seconds, so we could see a battle between those two coming up soon. If Pedersen can keep up the pace. I believe it's still... Is it Tomaselli that still has the fastest lap, or is it Fraser? Or is it neither?
Tomaselli still has it.
Tomaselli still has it, yeah. That's what, yeah, I couldn't remember which one it was swapping between a number of them, but yeah, it's actually down a little bit, the gap down to 2.3. So maybe Tomaselli could still get close. We've still got a number of laps to go, 17 of them to be exact. But again, Fraser watching from the sidelines. Meanwhile, Berenek actually is close behind Will Parrish for 7th place. So we could see a battle for the lowest the point. Parrish seemingly falling away as this race goes on. So as we look coming through the parabolica, and as we'll come across the line, it will be just 17 laps to go. Sorry, look at Tomaselli, as we'll see the gap between him and Kloss. Looks to be about 2 seconds again. Roughly about the same, I think. Again, to Bobo behind. No, it's actually up to 2.6. It's kind of going a bit up and down, really. Pedersen, again, it's roughly about the same, kind of going a little bit up and down. Ionescu closing on the back of Julius Anderson for 15th. The battle to not be last.
Yeah.
And at the moment, yes, panels, it is Fraser at the moment who is champion as things stand by just a single point. So, as we look at Ionescu closing up to the back of Anderson coming through the Ascari chicane. So he's going to be in the slipstream when they can move coming into the parabolica, but he could make a move coming into the first chicane, of course. And so he's now right on the slipstream as Ionescu. He's on the inside, and this could be an easy move. Well, Renaud Anderson tries to get him back coming into the chicane, but Ionescu is side by side with the Swede at the moment. And so this could be the move done. Unfortunately, no damage is done either, so Ionescu now up into 15th place. But Anderson could obviously get him back coming into the next chicane though, because he'll have the slipstream on the back of him. And they now head towards the second chicane. Julius Anderson on the inside, and he's going to get position back on Ionescu for P15. So he gets it back there, so good fighting between the two. Meanwhile, here's Berenek, who's close behind Parrish for P7. Again, Parrish, as I said before, who's been falling back this race, hasn't had the pace, it seems.
Berenek could get the move done.
In the slipstream, I don't think he's quite close enough. He's nearly there. But he could do it if he keeps close to the Lesmers onto the back straight. He's right close here. We'll see if he can do it or not. He's now right behind him, and so we look at him coming down towards the end of heading towards the Ascari chicane. Berenek going to try and edge on the inside. He's just about on the inside. Is this going to be the move? And the answer is yes. He does make it through up into 7th place. That's now 2 points for Christoph Berenek, and Parrish now down to P8. And behind him is Roman Quag, who could still have a chance at getting a point from this race. Meanwhile, Tomaselli again extending the gap to Bobo. Gap still staying about the same. Pedersen at Bobo staying about over 1.5 seconds. That's generally what the gap has been. Doesn't look like it's changing. We're looking aboard with Parrish, who again will have Quag behind him soon if he can't improve his pace. Quag is lurking in the background there. So he's in 9th position at this moment in time. And actually, I'm just going to have a look. Now we're at this point in the race. I'm going to have a quick look at the rest of the points. I know they're not updated, but I'm going to have a look and see if I can calculate position movements. So Reverse Gamba is not in the points. So P3 and P4 are saying Greenwood He's out of the race, isn't he? Yeah, he's out. So I think actually the top four are going to stay the same. Beranek, Thomas Elliott at the moment would move into P5. Greenwood would drop to P7, and Beranek would stay P6 as things stand. So there's a few movements down towards the back of the order. If Farquharson was to win, he would move up to, I think it would be about 11th position, I think he'd move up to, if he was to win this race, if he is to win.
1.2 seconds behind Ibobo.
He's closing on him here, so as Quag is again less than a second behind Parrish, who's again still just about behind Beranek, but Quag actually is getting closer in this battle for P8. So as we look now on board with Quag trying to go after Parrish, the American, for P8 to get that last point on the board. So Beranek, who's has had a decent season. He's had a pretty decent season, you'd have to say. Was unlucky about Spa not to get a better result than he did, of course, in that race, only finishing P8 in the end. Inesco, meanwhile, still staying on the back of Anderson. Could still see a battle between those two towards the end of the race. We're now heading into the last bit of it. Just 13 laps to go at the moment when Farquharson goes over the line. Soon it will just be 12. So as we're looking on board with Anderson, looking at now Ricky Farquharson coming across the line, completing the next lap 38 of this race. It's looking pretty good for him to take another win. Just close in second, the gap 2 seconds, so it's come down a little bit to Thomas Lee in third. Sahane is off, and Sahane is off. I don't think he's out, but he is off, and that's allowed a number of drivers to move up. Quag actually right behind Parrish, and Sahane has made a mistake, so he is now out of the points. He's going to rejoin. Is he going to avoid the wall? He hits the wall. He's going to get any damage.
He's fine as Quag's going through.
Quag does pass Parrish without P7, but Sahane making a mistake when he was running in 6th. Coming through the parabolic, and he's again lucky that he didn't actually retire from the race, because we've seen drivers go off there, and he's again very lucky. Just had to spin and hit the wall, but not enough to damage his car. But unfortunately for him, no points on the board now, having been running in 6th position. So he would have finished third, not just on count back at Roberto Gamba, but it'll still be third in the championship. And then this was the move for Quag, passing Parrish for what was then P7 because of that. So there was Quag making a move on the inside. Pretty simple stuff, really. And he made it through the American for 7th position. Parrish now down to 8th. So now we're looking at Inesco going to try and move on Julius Anderson for P15.
Not quite.
To do it there. So he's going to have to wait if he can get close enough through the parabolic and maybe to make a move. Boss still at the moment in 2nd position. Looking behind Thomas Lee again, the gap staying about 2 seconds. So not a lot of movement in the gap behind him. So as we look at the Audi logo on the back wing, as we're looking at coming through the Parabolica, and so we see Thomas Lee in the background there, trying to see if he can close up Duclos to get 2nd position, to try and make sure he gets the top 5 in the standings. Ibobo again to Petrucci, staying about over a second. See if Quag can get at Beranek. Inescu battling once again with Julius Anderson at this moment in time for 15th. This is the battle who would not be last at this moment in time. So Inescu all over the back of Anderson. These two have been having a battle throughout the second half of the race. So now Inescu on the back of Peterson, and on the back of Peterson, sorry, in the back of Anderson. I was reading the logo in the car there. So now Inescu passing Anderson for P15 on the inside into Ascari. Can he do it? The answer is yes, he can. And now finally that may be the move. secured Brianescu there, now up into 15th. Past Anderson, as we look now at Risky Falkazane coming through the Ascari chicane.
I think Peterson is really close to the back of Ibobo. Should be less than a second.
It looks to be a bit closer now, and the gap is again just over actually, just 1 point.
Actually, yeah, I
Closer.
was wrong, but yeah, look close.
Definitely closer than it ever has been before. Tomaselli, again, staying about 2 seconds, just not quite able to get a move on, get his fade on, and try and close up, get after Kloss for P2. So Tomaselli at the moment, actually look back actually at the table just a second. So Tomaselli at the moment has 27. So if he at the moment finishing 30 would get 6. So that would be he would be on 33 actually. So if Tomaselli was to get second actually, he would
be third.
Yeah, he would actually be third in the championship. Yeah, and actually no, he wouldn't. I don't.
Would he?
No, hang on. No, he would be on 33. No, he would be on actually, no, he would. Actually, no, he would. If he finished third, he'd actually be on the same points, I think, as Sahin and Roberta Gamba, but Sahin's won twice. So yeah, he wouldn't be ahead of him. But if he gets second, then he will be third in the championship. Tomaselli. Just looking by my quick calculations, and Joe can correct me if I'm wrong. Because maths is not my strong point. But as we see Falkazane coming, heading towards the parabolic and C-Kloss, and Falkazane in the background there. Again, the gap, I don't know if it looks closer or not. In Peterson at Bobo, it looks relatively close. So, yeah, again, still about a second. Person is edging, you could say, closer to a Bobo. So Falkazane, again, over 5 seconds clear of Kloss at this moment in time. Kloss to Tomaselli again, 1 point, is now under 2 seconds, so it's closer than it has been before. Ibobo, 2 Peterson behind, is literally a second now, so it's the closest there it has ever been. And yes, Joe, Tomaselli does have 1 win, but as I said, Sahin has 2. So that's the big thing in that one. Glazebrook coming through there. Trying to go, I think he's now closing up to the back of Parrish. Actually, this is for P8.
Actually, I was about to say Gambit doesn't actually have any wins. So yeah, Tomaselli would be 4th, and not 3rd. So yeah.
Yeah, if he obviously finishes 3rd, if he gets 2nd though, he will be 3rd. Obviously, Glazebrook is closing up to the back of Parrish, but let's not count it. Roberta Gamma as well, who was the last one to pit. He'll be pretty quick, so don't count him out just yet. He's just there in the background. He can still easily get something out of this race. So as we look at the gap, so Bobo to this again 1.1 second exactly, 1.032 across 6 seconds the most behind Falkazane at this moment in time.
Ibobo, yeah, it's now less than a second between Ibobo and Peterson. Quag getting away from Parrish. He's closing in on Brannick by a little bit. Kloss losing a little bit of time to Tomaselli. Tomaselli could actually get that 2nd place if he can. This could be important for him to get 3rd in the championship if he overtakes Kloss. Meanwhile, Ibobo, at the moment, Fraser will win this championship. Ibobo is not in the position. He doesn't have the pace to be in a position to win the championship, it seems. Not looking great for him. Could be under pressure from Peterson. Peterson only gained a little bit of time. It's still 9/10 at the moment.
Yeah, it doesn't look like, well, I say it doesn't look like anything could happen. It's still 7 laps left, so anything could still happen in this race.
He muted himself for now.
Yeah,
That's
I had
why.
to. I had to go quickly do something for a second. So I'm back now. I had to go do something now. I didn't want to miss the end of the race. That would have been the worst possible thing. Peterson definitely seems to be closer than he's ever been to the back of Ibobo for for fourth position. Sorry. So as we look at the two, we'll see what the gap is coming towards the first sector. So Bobo still ahead, and well, it's not quite close to him, but still about second. Thomas again trying to etch closer to the back of Kloss to try and get third place in the championship. So for him, that would be something for him. And Joe, can you not hear me? I'm now unmuted, probably a little bit behind. But anyhow, again, almost exactly a second, 1.001. Parrish under pressure from Glazebrook, and will also be under pressure from Roberto Gamba soon as well. So as we look at Glazebrook coming through Ascari chicane, and yeah, so only 6 laps to go. 6 laps to go of the DTM season. Of course, it'll be the end of another unbelievable DTM season. It always is great. As well, every season is great of every OC. Let's be brutally honest. So looking at again, 28 cost is under seconds. So I think it's actually gone up a little. I think he went up to about 1.8. The gap was. So Glazebrook trying to close up to the back of him. There's Peterson. There, it's gone up a little bit actually, over to Peterson at 1.3. Gaps kind of going up and down, up and down. As so we look at Parrish, who's going to have Glazebrook and Roberto Gamba for company very, very soon. And we'll see if Glazebrook can get close enough through the two Lesmos to maybe then make a move into Ascari.
Let's see what's going to happen here between these two.
Glazebrook is in the slipstream, so though he might be a bit too late to make a move, but he's going to be right behind him now, heading to Parabolica, so this could be a good chance for Glazebrook to make the move, but then of course Parrish will get him back. So Glazebrook goes to the inside and will make the move on Parrish for 8th place. And he'll make the move for 8th, but then Parrish will get him straight back, coming in towards the first variante chicane. Parrish now in the slipstream of Glazebrook, and will go straight back past him. Roberto Gamba watching in the background, hoping these two will trip over each other. And so no, it looks like actually Parrish does keep it. Glazebrook will now try and make a move into the next variante chicane. And so here we go. Glazebrook going to be close enough. You can see him right in the mirror there. And he's going to surely make a move. He's going to go to the left. Parrish doesn't actually defend, doesn't go aggressively this time. And Glazebrook's through, up into 8th place. So get that last point. But now Roberto Gamba is there as well. Really trying to make a move coming into the two Lesmos. He's going to go for it, side by side. He's still alongside him. Has he got it through now? He has.
Yeah.
So the question is, can Gamba go after? Can he go after Glazebrook and get that point? Because then that would be important for him if Tomaselli stays third, because then that would mean that Roberto Gamba would then take third in the championship if he can get that point. So it's all now happening in the last few laps of this race. And Matterson just doesn't look like he's getting close to Ibobo, getting close enough. Tomaselli, the gap to Kloss. Again, was it now 1.3? Gained a little bit on that lap, did Tomaselli. Parrish going to get back at Roberto Gamba. He might be close enough if he can stay on the slipstream coming into the first chicane, although I think Gamba gets just about enough of a gap. So I think Gamba's now got that position, but can Gamba get after Glazebrook in front of him for P8 is going to be the big question. 2.3 seconds is the gap. And that could easily be closed up. Again, Kloss gets a little bit away from Tomaselli. Bobo Peterson now down to 1 second again. So it's still all to play for. So Park has had a very, very easy race out front. This is the first lap, and he's never really looked back. So as Falkenstein actually is coming up to a little bit of traffic ahead of him, he's coming up to Julius Anderson and Roberto Gamba. I don't know if he'll catch both. I think he may catch Julius Gamba. May catch them, but may catch Anderson, but not necessarily Ionescu. But just now 4 laps to go left in this race, and doesn't look like there's going to be any more movements. And I'm saying that totally not as a commentator's curse thing, but maybe I am, maybe not. Again, the gap still about a second, Bobo to Peterson, but it's looking ominous for Bobo now. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. So again, once Bartosz Kloss goes over the line in second, that will be championship confirmed for Daniel Fraser. That's obviously once it happens.
Funny enough, it was previously owned by the man who is commentating, ironically.
Yeah, and
really ironic.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, anyway, so we're looking at Kloss at the moment, still in second, Tomaselli 1.6, that gap just fluttering about the 1.5 second mark. Looks like Kloss is going to have it ahead of Tomaselli for second position. Of course, Tomaselli at the moment looking like he will get fourth, but not quite third. But of course, if Roberto Gamba was to get Glazebrook, then Gamba would himself take third in the championship. So Gamba, I think the gap was to Glazebrook was about 2 seconds. He needs to do a little bit more than that if he wants to get him. Going to have 3 laps to do it, so it's important for him that he gets closed up on him quickly. Just 3 laps left of this race, lap 48 of 50, and so we're looking over this Peterson gap about second, as it always has been. So so again, Park just cruising out front, 8.222 seconds.
Peterson's around 8 tenths behind.
So this is definitely as close as he has ever been, Peterson, to the back of Ibobo. Still not enough to get in the slipstream though. But if he can keep it up for the rest of the lap, then maybe he could get him. But I don't think it's going to happen this lap. Maybe the lap after. But this is definitely as close as Peterson has been. All second half of the race to him. So we'll see if he can still get him. So we're about to head on to the penultimate lap. So again, it's now actually down to 7 tenths. This is as close as it has been between Ibobo and Peterson for place. Just 2 laps to go now left of this race. The penultimate lap of the DTM race at Monza, and of course the penultimate lap of the 2019 DTM OC season. And Peterson, if he gets a good run through the chicane, actually I think could actually make a move on Ibobo. This is as close as he's ever been at this point. And Tomaselli, I think Kloss has got the gap, so I think that is going to be settled. Peterson comes through there. He won't be able to make a move coming into the first Variante, but if he gets a good run through the chicane and through the 2 Lesmos, could have a go coming into the Ascari chicane. So as we look at them coming through the gap, very, very close now, just half a second, as close as it has ever been. So Peterson could have a good chance at getting a top 4 from this race. Again, Tomaselli, I don't think he's going to get Kloss. I think Kloss has got that one covered.
It seems like that one been settled. Battle for second. You know, the battle for fourth. It's gone up. It's only by 6 tenths. But we'll see what happens.
That battle is set to go to the final lap. Peterson again looks like he's gaining as we're now officially onto the final lap of the season. But we'll stay on board with Peterson for the moment. And don't know if he's quite close enough. He was just a little bit closer. He might have been able to have a go or stay in the slipstream of Ibobo into the first chicane. The gap actually about 4/10 actually. So if he gets a good run through the chicane of Peterson, he could have a go at Ibobo here. Coming to the second chicane. We'll see as he comes through. Is he quite close enough? He's almost there. Just about. Not quite close enough at this moment in time. And so if you look at Julius Anderson at the moment running 16th place, Tomaselli, again, I said it's not going to happen between the two. Half a second between Ibobo and Peterson. As meanwhile, we look at your race leader, Rivki Farquharson, who has totally dominated this race. It's been a pretty torrid season for him, despite that win, but it looks like he'll end it on a high and get his second victory of the season. Of course, he won his first race earlier on in the season, and that race that he won it at was it was in Montreal. But Rivki Farquharson, as he comes around Parabolica, Rivki Farquharson is going to win the final race of the season of the DTM at Monza. He comes across the line and he wins.
It was close
He is
between
the winner.
Peterson
Second of
and
the season.
Ibobo.
I think Peterson is going to try and overtake Ibobo coming through
We
the
need to
final.
look at second place quickly.
And as we look at second place, and there it is.
Confirmation. Daniel Fraser is champion.
Is the DTM champion. As Peterson is going to try and pass Ibobo for fourth across the line.
Not quite missed up by 18 thousandths.
But it doesn't matter. That is that. And Daniel Fraser is your 2019 DTM OC champion. He has done it. And yet you can't say it hasn't been deserved. It's been one of the consistent drivers all season, but he will take the here today. And it certainly wasn't easy. That engine failure certainly made it on edge. But Victor Ibobo unfortunately just couldn't do enough. Fourth position was not enough, and he misses out on the title by just 1 point. So he was very close. But yeah, that was a very interesting race, of course, made definitely more interesting by the fact that Fraser retired. So as we look at the rest of the cars, obviously coming across the line now. Mint in 14th position. And Robbie got line 50. Again, unfortunately, just not his season. Hope to look for it better for the next one. And Julius Anderson now across the line in last. But Rivki Farquharson is your winner, taking his second victory of the season. And we'll take a look at the final race results of the season at Monza. So we're going to take a look. So of course, Rivki Farquharson winning again his second race of the season. So here we go. For his results, Rivki Farquharson winning the time of 1 hour and 11 minutes. Bartis Kloss in the second position. And Alessandro Tomaselli third. Victor Ibobo fourth, again just beating Peterson by 18 thousandths. A very close ending. Christoph Baranek in sixth. Romain Quag in seventh. Oliver Glazebrook does take that last point in eighth, so Roberto Gamble was not able to get him. And Will Parrish in 10th, and we'll let you go through the rest of the order.
Sahin cost himself points, but it doesn't matter anyway. He gets third in the championship with Michael Macho in 12th, Max Nordberg in 13th, Hongmin Negro in 14th, Robert T. Nescu 15th. A season to forget for him. Julius Anderson 16th. That's the finishers of this race. And the non-finishers are Daniel Fraser, the new DTM World Champion, who will go to the top class next season, driving for Haas as well, just so you know. Will Neller, Ajay Prazan, David Greenwood, Florian Volker, and Adam Wolf.
That was, of course, the final finishing order, and then we'll take a look at who got the fastest lap in this race, and it was Alessandro Tomaselli, who does get the fastest lap, and of course the rest of the order is there. Mocho ahead of Gamba, Farquharson, Fraser, and then just going through the rest of the order. You can see here on your screen. Victor Ibobo actually so he was only 16th fastest Ibobo, so he was essentially almost he was very slow.
Around the second slowest car.
Yeah, the second slowest car on the circuit, so unfortunately for Ibobo just didn't have the pace today. So there we go. Once again, congratulations to Daniel Fraser on becoming the 2019 DTM OC champion, and of course, made it even more sweeter by the fact that he will be driving for Haas next season. So once again, congratulations to him. And again, that is the season now over. Another season of DTM over. I can't believe it. I can't believe it's over. It's just amazing how quickly the time goes through. Thanks to Flo, of course, for hosting. Actually, or before actually, before we do that, driver of the day. I mean, you probably have to say. I mean, probably say one comfortably in the end, but you could say Tomaselli third, moving up 13 places, and just unlucky you couldn't quite get a second in the end. What about you, Rahul?
Yeah, I would give it to Fuck. I'll give it to Tomaselli, actually. Been a great drive for him, but unfortunately he missed out on third, but still he does take fourth in the Drivers' Championship, so it's good for him.
Yeah, it's a good ending as well. And of course, I've nearly forgot, of course, before I go over, before we end the stream, of course, we will go over the national anthem of the race when Rifki Park saying, so please remain standing for the Indonesia national anthem.
Ich habe mir einfach mal Swappy bestellt.
Alrighty, so yeah, as I said before, that is the season now over, and also with Flo actually, because I think I'll ask you now. Who do you think was your driver of the day from this race?
Factor Zane, for sure.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But we'll repeat again once again. So congratulations to Daniel Fraser for winning the DTM title for 2019. Definitely, yeah, did very well. And was pretty consistent all season. Managed to get that crucial win, and that enabled him to get the title. Again, thanks everyone for watching what's been another great season. Thank you very much to Flo for hosting yet another great season. In between all the thunderstorms he's had to try and endure when hosting. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I have been George, your OC commentator for this race, along with Rahul and of course Flo hosting. Thanks for watching, everybody. And see you later.
Goodbye.